Hey everybody, welcome to Top Comics to Pre-Order in a Flash. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our quick show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend so you don't miss out on any of the comic goodness. Head over to infinityflux.net right now. You can follow along. You can do all your pre-orders over there. And let's get started because it is a pretty big week of number ones and continuations of
big stories.
Yeah. So, to begin with, we are going to talk about...
We're going to start with Venom War #1. This is Marvel's next big Venom crossover story. And this one sees Eddie Brock and Dylan Brock, who have both been bonded with the Venom symbiote at some point. They're going to go head-to-head to find out who is the one true Venom. But their battle will threaten to tear the world asunder. So we'll have to wait and see who's left in the fallout and what it means for Venom going forward.
Next up, we've got NYX #1. So this is really exciting. This is another new aspect of the mutantdom going forward. This one sounds really cool. So this is going to be a little bit more the younger class of mutants. And this is not an X-Men book as the traditional sense. These are mutants living their lives in the city, kind of coping with once being the big deal on Krakoa. Now they're, having to find lives. So it gives me kind of a young adult feel for this. But of course, there are some threats that are looming and a great evil lurking underground. You've got classic characters like Ms. Marvel, Wolverine, and one of the Cuckoo sisters all starring in this one. So I'll be very interested to try this one out.
Next is Dark Knights of Steel Allwinter #1. This is, I think, the next Elseworlds book in their new Elseworlds line. And this is a return to the Dark Knights of Steel universe. But this one is going to focus on Deathstroke. And he is this legendary assassin that stalks the frozen wasteland for money. There's kind of a Viking feel to this. But at some point, he's going to find himself in the role of a reluctant guardian. And will he be consumed by the sins of his own dark past?
Next up, we got Flash Gordon #1. So, following up from the free Comic Book Day Flash Gordon book that was awesome, we're getting this new Flash Gordon ongoing series. In this one, Flash Gordon wakes up on a prison planet and learns there has been a plot to assassinate Dale Arden, who is his love interest. Now he's going to have to make his way across the galaxy to try and save her, along the way meeting old friends and new foes. I'm very excited about this. I love that free Comic Book Day book. I love the art in it. And I love Jeremy Adams as a writer. So I am all for this new Flash Gordon.
And next is Witchblade #1, and this is going to be a reimagining of the original Witchblade story. It's going to sort of reinvigorate her origin story, but with familiar characters to longtime Witchblade readers. And if you don't know, this is about a woman named Sarah Pazzini. She is a detective with the New York Police Department, and she is tracking a vicious criminal organization beneath the city when an ancient power transforms her into something wild, magnificent, and beyond her darkest imaginings.
Next up, we got Biker Mice from Mars #1. So this is going to be our next 3-issue miniseries in the Nacelleverse. Folks, this is the one I've been most excited about. I love Biker Mice from Mars. And in this one, they are going more of the Mars route as some enemies are trying to take over and strip Mars for all of its resources. And it's up to the rough and tumble Biker Mice to stop them. Sounds like they're like fighting the power of this big industry and everything to do that. And they are getting an upcoming animated series, I believe, on Netflix. So this is also going to be leading into that.
Next is a new book from Image called Greaser Gemini Blues. And this one is set in the future, and it stars a guy named Buddy. He is a greaser, a mechanic, who survives by doing repairs on spacecraft of the aliens that moved in decades ago. They're called the Gemini. He lives a quiet life, just building his dream car from scavenged parts. But one day, his quiet life is interrupted when a ruthless motorcycle gang leaves behind precious cargo in his yard, and they want it back, and they will destroy anything in their way to get it.
And it's Magma Comics. You said Image.
Oh, Image. Sorry, Magma. Yeah.
I want to say, because Magma's been putting out some really cool stuff lately.
Yep.
Next up, we've got the Powerpuff Girls. This is a brand new series from Dynamite. It says it is a new take on everyone's favorite butt-kicking girls, but it's not like they're wildly reimagining them or anything. I believe it's just some brand new stories in the Powerpuff Girls universe. So if you're a fan of the show, it is a classic now with some of the best rogues gallery ever stand up there with some of the greats. Don't miss out on this new ongoing series.
And next is Blood Hunt number 5. We wanted to call attention to this because this is, I believe, the next to last issue of the main story. And things are coming to a head. Doctor Strange gets presented with a dread bargain to gain a chance to save the world. The Avengers ride into a battle they can't win. The dead battle the undead. And will the world be saved? And if so, how will it be changed? And it says featuring a dramatic shift for the future of the Marvel Universe.
And next up, we have Destro number 2. Destro number 1 came out this week. Very excited to have our next chapter in the Energon universe with the G.I. Joe characters. And Destro, he's kind of having to work apprehensively with Cobra Commander, and Zaymot and Tomax are kind of messing with his industry.
Yeah.
He thought he was the top dog in this weapons manufacturer, and they may have other ideas. So if you like the first issue, hopefully you picked it up this week, and issue number 2 is already up for order. That is it for Top Comics to pre-order in a flash. Thank you so much for watching. Remember our show coming up on Friday. For one, we'll be doing the Comics from the Future like we usually do, where you'll see all these books plus much more. And we're going to have that interview with Benjamin Percy coming out hopefully right around the time after we do it.
Yeah.
As soon as we can get it up, we'll have that. So stay tuned for all that greatness coming up very, very soon. And until then, see ya.